What's up, guys? Welcome to the Steve Bizzogany Show. So one of the cool things I wanted to talk about today, actually the cool thing that I wanted to talk about today is the concept of active listening. I don't know if that's the formal term for it, but it's something that I like to call it active listening because I actually don't mean it in the idea that I'm actually listening to you with my ears and while you're talking to me and I'm making eye contact. I don't mean that by active listening. I mean the concept that I'm actually doing something while I'm listening to maybe a motivational CD or some kind of positive listening material or, a self-development book, audiobook or something like that. And I'm actually doing something while I'm listening. I think that's super helpful and it helps me retain the information and it actually helps me pay attention better. Now, for me, I have ADD. I'm pretty sure I have ADD. I've never been diagnosed with it, but I'm pretty sure I have it. I cannot sit still for long periods of time. I have to be doing something. I have to I like to be doing more than one thing at one time. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe I'm compulsive. I think I can be doing more things at once. And I think to just sit still and do one thing drives me up a wall. But that's just me. I've been told that people can't multitask and all these other things. So it's probably best to focus. And that's the advice I would tell you. I know me, myself, I like to be doing things while I'm doing other things. So sometimes it can scatter me a little bit, but that's my ADD kicking in. So this concept of active listening is something that I learned, I think, while I was still in school, because I did struggle in school to pay attention. I never sat still. I was always moving, looking around. I did do fairly well in school. I was usually 90s and above for school. I think in college I was a 3.0 student, like a B's, pretty much average to B. High school I was averaging like 3.5, 3.75, something like that. So I mean, I was doing okay, but I was killing myself to pay attention. And the reason is, I learned to do better in grade school as I liked to draw pictures while the teacher was talking, because I would like to, while she was talking, I couldn't look at her and pay attention because it was so difficult for me to just focus on the one thing. But what I could do is, while I was coloring or drawing a picture, I could hear her voice, and I was internalizing it a lot better, a lot easier. And that mechanism of doing something as I got older just changed as I grew up. In high school, it was still drawing. I just wasn't using coloring books. I was drawing like with pens and pencils instead. College, I was actually doodling on the Paint app on my phone. And actually now, as a post-college graduate, I have these little things, these little metal magnetic balls that I use. And these things are so fun to play with. They are the most addicting things in the world. I could literally play with these things all freaking day. And what it's really cool is when I listen to like audiobooks and things, I can literally just sit there and play with these little magnetic, I guess marbles or whatever they are, for the entirety of the audiobook, and I will remember almost all of it that way. And so I guess for me that active listening helps. Or maybe I'll go sweep the floor in the house, or something else of some kind of activity. Maybe I'll walk the dog. But that requires a little bit more attention. So I like something that is kind of mindless, like playing with magnetic marbles or sweeping the floor or cleaning the countertops or something like that. Doing something that's mindless actually helps me focus on whatever I'm listening to. So actually, I remember what it was in college. In college, it was actually video games. There was a video game called Halo, and you could actually build your own levels and things like that. And it was basically 3D drawing. And while I was building or 3D drawing on my video game, I could actually listen to, at the time, I think I was listening to Tony Robbins in college, and listening to all of the ideas of how to be successful and how do you expand your brain and how you can turn knowledge into action, into results and things like that. So it was all cool stuff. So anyway, but long story short, I like to do something while I learn. And that just pretty much satisfies my brain's urge to lose its focus on just one thing. So I am curious. This is a little bit of a shorter episode today, but I am curious to hear what everybody else's, I guess, guilty pleasure or trick to paying attention better. Like what are your little tricks that you use to pay attention more, to focus more in your life? So would love to hear what everybody else does. That's what I do, but looking forward to hearing what everybody has to say, and I will see you guys in the next episode.